My name is Alex Sita. I grew and scaled a restoration company from my dad's garage to over 8 figures, and now I'm on a mission to help you grow and scale yours. In today's episode of Albi After Hours, we're going to be going over a framework that I built called the Restoration Success Scoring System. So throughout my time building Romextera up, and even now at my time trying to build this software company in a completely different space, I never really had a benchmarking technique to really know how I was doing compared to a lot of others, right? I never had a scorecard. I never had any sort of grading system and things like those, and they really don't exist within the industry. Like, you always go to the trade shows and events, and, one guy will tell you, oh, I'm doing $3 million with 20% bottom line, and then somebody else, oh, I'm doing $5 million, all TPA work. But really, there's no way to be able to figure out, okay, well, how do we compare apples to apples, and how am I really doing, and am I on my path to success or not? So I created this framework, which is kind of a scorecard, and implements a few principles from a lot of different things. Another great scorecard, actually, to supplement mine, is actually the EOS system, Entrepreneurial Operating System. It's more of a generic business scorecard, and you can actually go in there and score yourselves on those. But this is a restoration-specific scorecard in the different areas that I think are important. In the link below, you'll be able to actually download a worksheet. So click that link and download that worksheet where you'll be able to go step by step and kind of answer these questions and be able to score yourself. But in this video, I kind of want to go over an overview of the 6 main areas that I look for in a successful restoration business and what I've found after talking with thousands of restoration companies that have grown and scaled. So each of the 6 frameworks is actually split up into a rating system. So you're going to grade yourself on a scale of 1 or 0 to 10, actually, right? And 0 is basically non-existent, right? Then you're going to, developing, established, and world-class. So those are kind of the categories, and then you have point systems within those for those 6. So the first one is actually scalability is the first thing that I look for within a restoration company. And scalability, well, it's the ability for the company to scale. It's a very important thing to grade yourself on. How quickly and how efficiently are you able to grow and scale your business? So an underdeveloped company that would score like a 0 will probably be a company like we were very early on with no systems and procedures in place. There's nothing, right? We're just responding to losses. We're doing losses. We have no systems and procedures in place. There's not unity on how we do things. Everybody does things differently. And as you can imagine, as you quickly scale your company, that is going to be a problem. A world-class restoration organization in the scalability area has written, well-documented policies and procedures in place that are then converted into training materials, and employees are onboarded with those training materials, and everybody knows crystal clear what the systems and procedures of how everything's done at their restoration company happens. And a lot of world-class restoration companies even have their own learning management system with videos on all of those documented systems. They have nice pictures and a step-by-step flow chart to follow those systems from start to finish. So if you're not at what I just described, you have room for improvement within scalability, and you should definitely focus on that as you're growing your business. The second area of the business is unity. And when I think of unity, I think of the core values that hold the people all together. Right? And a company that has non-existent unity probably doesn't have core values. We haven't had time to think of the soft stuff. We've been working on, just trying to get sales through the pipeline. There are no core values really established. Employees aren't really hired based on core values. They're just hired based on if they have the technical aspect or if they can do the job. You might experience high turnover. You might experience confusion. You might experience a bunch of different personalities that really clash. Now, on the world-class side of unity, you do have core values. And not only are the core values defined, they're well written, and every single employee that's hired within the organization, there's a pass or fail test that has to do with the core values of the company. If an employee does not fit the core values of the company, they won't be able to fit within the company and they won't be able to succeed, so they're not hired. And now those core values are brought up throughout the onboarding process, throughout every step of the way, and that employee, all employees, can recite those core values and truly believe those core values and feel united within the organization because of that. As a result, we don't have high turnover. We have very actively engaged employees all on a mission to do something great. So the next aspect of the business that I look at is coachability, right? And that's the ability for the team to be coached and the ability for the leadership team to actually coach. And there is a quote that I strongly believe in, but if you want to grow and scale your restoration company, you must build the people that are gonna build the business. You're not actually the one, or the leadership team is not actually the one building the business. It's the people that build the business, and the leadership team are actually building that. So when you're looking at a non-existent company in that department, there isn't a leadership team. There isn't any coaching that's happening. We may train here and there on the technical aspect, but we're not really sitting down frequently, and coaching our team members and trying to have our team members improve. Now, in a world-class environment, we have multiple levels of coaching going on. So like the executive team or the ownership team is consistently working on coaching the leadership team, right? And helping that leadership team grow. And that leadership team is consistently coaching the management team, and the management team is consistently coaching the end employees that are the tactical employees, right? So that's kind of what a world-class organization looks like from this perspective, right? And there's a lot of great books out there. The $1 Trillion Coach kind of talks about Bill Campbell, for example, and it's a really great book if you really want to learn more about coaching and things like those that you can implement to try to get yourself to that world-class category of a restoration business from a coachability standpoint. The next area of the business I call clairvoyance, right? And yeah, it's a flamboyant term. I really couldn't find any other way to describe it, right? But it's the ability for the entire team to basically see the mission and the vision of the business clearly and be able to look ahead into the future and know exactly where the company is headed. And in a non-existent company, basically that just doesn't exist. There's no mission, there's no vision, it's not written. Maybe the owner and the entrepreneur kind of has that vision of, retirement at 50 or something like that, but there really isn't like this greater reason for existence that the company has. In a world-class company, right, that mission is all over the place. The vision is all over the place. It's brought up in weekly meetings. Everybody clearly knows the direction the company is going. People know if there are distractions that come up or not, and if something does not abide by the mission or the vision, right, and is a squirrel or a rabbit hole or things like those, right? So, and everybody's kind of beating to the same drum. Everybody's kind of moving the ship forward, right? So that's what I really want to see in a world-class restoration organization. They know exactly, and everybody's bought in. Everybody knows exactly what they're going to get when that ship actually reaches to the point of the mission and the vision. So the next area is durability. We're looking at the durability of the company, and really when you're looking at durability, it's the ability for the company to withstand tough times. And typically, the way a company withstands tough times is by having cash. Right? So if you're in a non-existent category of durability, you don't really have systems and procedures for accounts receivables and cash flow management. You're doing work and you're doing your best to get paid, but there's no formalized systems on how you're getting paid, how quickly you're getting paid, things like those, right? So in result, right, you don't have that much durability because your cash flows are probably hurting. If you have a month of no sales, you're going to be struggling to make payroll. A world-class company in the durability section has well-documented account receivable procedures, right? And has well-documented benchmarks for account receivables. And you do not want to owe money to that world-class organization in the durability category. They do a great job of collecting money. They have those systems in place, and turn on receivables is lower than 25 days. It takes them less than 25 days, and yes, in the restoration industry where it takes us forever to get paid, it's less than 25 days, and I'm telling you, there's companies out there that do it, and that's what I would consider a world-class restoration company within the durability category. Visibility is the next one, and it's actually very important, and it's the ability for everybody to be able to see what's going on, right? And a company that's in the non-existent area, all the way over to the left of the visibility category, just probably doesn't have anything other than gut feeling to run the business on. We don't know, any metrics whatsoever, or very few metrics on how the company is doing, where we're growing, or where we're going, right? Employees don't really have metrics. They don't have scorecards. They don't have KPIs, right? We're just doing jobs and we're trying to collect money, but there's no metrics whatsoever. Now, in the world-class category, there's ways that you can implement tools like Power BI or even Albi's BI tool to build custom dashboards and custom automated scorecards where you can have complete visibility on all areas of your business. Then after that, what you do is you get every single employee in every single department to take ownership over one specific KPI, and they understand specifically how their day-to-day actions affect that one KPI. And then they're measured based off of that, and you go back to those numbers every single week, and you're coaching those employees on those numbers because you have clear visibility on those numbers. And that is basically your entire business health is within those numbers. So if you're not at that point where you have those custom tailored dashboard, not static reports that your job management system just gives you, but custom KPIs that are calculated and built specifically for your business, and everybody's bought in and incentivized by those KPIs, that's where you can work on that visibility and get yourself to that world-class visibility. And the last one's profitability. And it's essentially the ability for the company to make money, right? And if you're non-existent within the profitability category, it's a company that has no controls over how much money they make. Again, a company that's doing work, but not 100% sure, proactive about how much money they're going to make on that work. It's kind of like, we're spraying and praying kind of thing. Whereas a world-class organization knows exactly how much money they're going to make on a project prior to take the project on. We have specific targets on profitability, so our gross margin needs to be X, and every single employee is incentivized based on the gross margin and the profitability. We have accounts payable and budgeting processes in place, so we do work orders and budgets ahead of time, and we don't put a single nail on a specific project until we know for a fact that we're going to make money off of that, right? And sometimes we might not even take projects as a world-class organization that are not going to fit the profitability. And if they are not going to fit the profitability, we're going to be able to evaluate, well, why are we taking it in the first place? Sometimes, yeah, maybe it's an insurance agent that we need to make happy or another referral source and things like those. So those are the 6 different areas. And I've described to you the not so great and the world-class. There's different other steps in the middle. So if you click the link below, we actually have a worksheet that you can download and score your restoration business. And again, this was compiled after talking to thousands of restoration companies and seeing some of those key things that successful restoration companies have in common. And again, if you find value in this worksheet as well as other content that we've built, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, put your thoughts in the comments below. You can also find us on Facebook and LinkedIn. We'd love to have you as part of the community. Again, our mission here on Albi is to help restoration contractors grow and scale their businesses. And through this kind of content, these kind of communities, that's how we do it. I'll see you guys soon on the next Albi After Hours episode.